We now introduce our first afternoon session, VELA, the Future of Sustainable Shipping. Please welcome to the stage Michael Fernandez-Ferry, co-founder, managing director, and executive chairman, VELA.
Well, thank you. Well, you may be wondering what the others are doing in that company. But anyway, I'm here very happy to be here. They asked me to pitch like an American, which obviously I'm not, but I still wanted to give it a try. So here it goes. When I was a child, catchy, right? I used to wonder, why would these pirates, the true kings of the ocean, as we all know, would always use kick-ass sailboats when I could see no sails on modern ships? Growing up, that question turned into, why would we burn fuel to cross oceans when wind is abundant, available 24/7, free and harmless to the environment? What happened to us? Indeed, the 50,000 commercial ships today are responsible for 1,000 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions every year. This is 3% of the global emission today, and it's going to be 17% with the expected growth of traffic if we continue business as usual. So we decided to stand out, to set sails to a better future, and to build the airplane of the seas. Take a look at the video. Thank you. Meet the airplane of the seas. Fast, reliable, secure, and obviously low carbon. This is not what we wanted to do. This is what the shippers, the customers, asked us to do. So we built it. And believe it or not, this can carry 5 times the capacity of an airplane while crossing the Atlantic in 2 times less time than a container ship. With refrigerated holds and temperature control, we are able to carry sensitive goods like pharmaceutical, luxury goods, or industrial parts. And yet, a container ship is 100 times less carbon intensive than air freight. We are 10 times less carbon intensive than a container ship. Check this out. Carbon-wise, carbon intensity-wise, it's like Paris would be 10 kilometers away from New York City. Green corridor, they said, good try. Thanks to our supporters and partners today, this is no longer a fancy idea from a group of romantic Frenchies. This is happening as we speak. This picture is from this morning in the Philippines. The vessel is about 60% built, and we will hit New York City by November 2026. So I invite you all to save the date, be here in about a year time, and now welcome on stage the one that make it possible, our beloved panel of supporter and partners. Merci 11th Hour Racing, thank you North Sails, arigato Takeda, come on Jeremy, come and show us the way. Jeremy Poshman, the CEO and co-founder of 11th Hour Racing.
Really excited to be here with some other wonderful voices and minds. To my left, Audrey Philippot-Dan. She's the head of US for VELA. To her left is there we go. Xavier Baville, head of global distributions and logistics global supply chain for Takeda. And Tony Ray, head of Grand Prix and Superyacht sales with North Sales. We are really excited to be here. So happy for you to see this wonderful project kind of come to life. It will be here in these waters very soon, within just over 12 months, which is pretty exciting. It's a big investment for 11th Hour Racing, venturing into the world of global transport and shipping. And it's also a really exciting time for us to speak about real solutions. So we're going to explore today a little bit about what that looks like for each of these companies, what it can mean for all of us, and hopefully the takeaway is, like, let's go out there, be a part of it, and get in there. Michael said it, but please stop by to the stand, come see the model, come check it all out. Have a conversation with us, with any of us, come find us afterwards. And whether you want to ship something, you want to learn more about how you could get involved with this sort of thing. If you want to learn how to sail on the boat, it's also going to be a really wild and cool experience in and of itself. We like to say at 11th Hour Racing that we make effective change happen 1 degree at a time. Small incremental shifts, always in the right direction. It's the most efficient way to get from where we are to where we need to be. It works well on sailboat racing, and we think it works well in the world of sustainability too. So, excited to hear a little bit from each of you. I'd love to start out by kind of asking you each, in your own words, like what sustainability means for you and for your company. Audrey, for VELA, it's kind of obvious, like we're here talking about your new organization, your new boat. So what does VELA mean to you? What does sustainability mean to you and for VELA?
Yes, so for VELA, what's very important is to be there to improve the business performance of our clients while also allowing them to decarbonize. And we don't believe there is any impact without any viable business model. I've worked for 20 years in the corporate sector before joining VELA, before joining this adventure, and I know that's how scalability happens. And so that's what we had in mind when we designed the boat, with very strict design constraints. We wanted to be faster, more reliable, and more secure, and of course more sustainable than traditional sea freight. And that's what we did. So we choose a trimaran design. We are leveraging advanced weather routing technologies for higher speeds. We are leveraging air freight standards for our operations, for secure operations. And we are coming up with like innovative ways to ensure cold chain integrity on the boat for the goods we are transporting. So we really believe we need to prove the value to get the impact.
Thank you. Xavier, so Takeda, a global company, been around for a very long time. I was speaking with one of your colleagues earlier this week, and I was really struck by one of your company's sort of ground floor tenets, which is Sampoyoshi. It's a commitment to climate, company, and community. I found that really powerful and really beautiful, and it's been part of your DNA since the inception. So it exists within your whole company, but can you speak to me a little bit about, in your words, what that means for you as well as for your whole company to talk about sustainable shipping and decarbonizing that and sustainability as well?
Thank you, Jeremy, for the question. Indeed, Takeda, 240 years of history, and our founder, Shobei Takeda, he utilized this philosophy of this Sampoyoshi to really define how we wanted to do business. And literally what it means, it's a three-way good. Good for the seller, good for the buyer, and good for the society. And today, the company has embedded this principle in the company corporate philosophy and the sustainability is the modern word of this Sampo Yoshi concept. So all what we do at Takeda, we do it with this idea that we need to serve, for us, the patient, we need to protect the planet, and we need to do that for the people, the community. So I think we have a very ambitious target to become net zero by 2040, and all what we do today in our operations is really guided by this principle that is part of our DNA as a company for the last 200 years, and we expect that to be the case for the next 200 years.
I love that idea of looking back to think forward. I think that's where we need to be. So, Tony, it kind of seems like a no-brainer, talking about sales, sale-making company, but what does sustainability mean to you?
Yeah, so this is, first of all, this show is incredible. Like, this is seriously inspiring, just being here this morning and this afternoon, walking around and feeling this energy. It's just super positive, and to be a part of this is incredible personally. And I'm here with my company, North Sails. We make sails for boats of all sizes, small Optimus dinghies up to massive sailing yachts, cargo ships, and all sorts of sailing ships. And we're the largest sail-making company in the world by almost triple. And so we got there starting in 1957 by being innovative in every possible way, driving innovation in design, driving innovation in product development, manufacturing. But a big part of that is every place that we can drive innovation, we do. And this includes things like shipping. The other thing that's sort of obvious, as Jeremy pointed out, we're sails. We make sails, and this is for quite a large trimaran sailboat. So it's a wonderful synergy for us. And this opportunity to be involved at this sort of crossroads of sustainability as well as good business, it's a perfect fit for us. And so, when it comes to sustainability, we look as at North Sails as this is our playground, right? We play in the ocean. Our customers, our clients, are there to play in the ocean. And so, if we don't do our part to keep our environment conducive for going out and doing the sport that we love, then we've lost everything. So sustainability is at the forefront of our business, and it's we have a product called Renew where we're developing sails for smaller boats that have basically bio-based materials, and we've got solar panels going on all of our manufacturing facilities in Sri Lanka and Minden, Nevada, and Gosport, UK. And so, for us to be involved with something like this, really in two ways. We've got agreements pending to actually ship some of our sails on the first VELA boats being built now, as well as potentially supplying the sails for the rest of the fleet as this project grows. So we could not be more excited to be a part of anything of any size, rolling up our sleeves to create more sustainability in shipping. It's good business, and it's a good way to be.
So kind of following on that, mostly you focus on race boats. And that's a very, very, very specific market and a very specific approach. But as you kind of came across this conversation with VELA, what are your thoughts about transitioning that to cargo? Is that a different approach for North Sails? Is that the same thing? Like, how do you manage that? What does that mean for you?
It's a good question, Jeremy. I think, for us, we love design, we love innovative technology, and to create a product, for example, sails for a boat like this, that are efficient, they're lightweight, and they can be a big driving principle in the target that Michael and Audrey and their company are trying to hit, which is 14 days shipping and have it be economically viable. The shape of the sails, the design of the sails, manufacturing of the sails is a critical piece of that. So what a fantastic sort of opportunity to create this product along with VELA, but also to bring to bear all of the technology that we've developed at North Sails to provide sails for big boats. So it's a challenging project, but it's a great fit.
And for you, Xavier, like, looking at the rest of your system, how does this product sync with the rest of your system, with the rest of your sustainability approach. You're specifically a head of in charge of distribution and logistics, so I'm sure this is very personal to you. But can you walk us through a little bit about how this fits in with your whole system?
Yeah, so we started this journey to decarbonize our logistic network 8 years ago. We were utilizing in the past a lot of air freight for any intercontinental shipments. We started to use more traditional sea freight, but we reached a point where we could not go further in decarbonizing because obviously the standard sea freight is not or is still emitting too much, let's say. So we identified VELA as an additional option and an alternative to go beyond what we have been able to do so far. You mentioned that almost 90% less emissions than normal sea freight. So VELA has really an option for us to propose to move our pallets in a different way than the normal sea freight. Just to be a little bit technical, when today you want to do sea freight, you have to book a big container. And if you have, not obviously enough volume, this is half empty. So that's not super efficient. And you can't achieve this net zero ambition that we have. So again, VELA is proposing this, let's say, a floating warehouse where we could imagine to have 1-2 pallets of different products, different temperature as well. You mentioned that, Audrey. It's an extremely important option for us to consolidate more product in one boat without having this question of a half-empty container that we will have to pay for and which is not efficient. So this is a tool that we have on top of the existing ones to decarbonize faster and to as well be more flexible, because when you have only air or sea, you don't have the flexibility you need. We have air, sea, and sea. And the second C is really extremely exciting because it brings the reduced lead time, more flexibility, and obviously from a sustainability point of view, we can go to the next level.
I mean, I think that's really exciting. And if we could decarbonize 99% from air freight and 90% from traditional sea freight, I mean, that sounds like success to me on the surface. But Audrey, what does success look like for you and for VELA?
Yes, so success for us in the immediate term is to best serve our clients and be able to have them achieve those emission reduction targets and those business performance I was mentioning. But long-term success is really about changing the standard of international shipping, and where sustainability and performance go hand in hand. And success is also collectively changing and stopping the use of air freight when it's not necessary. So keeping it for emergency shipment, very sensitive products, but really trying to change this paradigm. And it's complicated. Change management within large organizations takes time. I think we need to educate, raise awareness across the whole value chain, including with the end customers. But this is what will make global shipping cleaner and more resilient, and I think it's worth the change.
I couldn't agree more, and it is enormous. So we're talking about North Atlantic route, which is significant in and of itself. The first boat, the first trips are coming up, but this is quite a bit larger. We're talking with some of the leaders of our industries in sailmaking and pharmaceuticals. And what are these global stakes? So, Audrey, what is your plan forward? And how do you continue to grow from that? And you know, it's a big boat to me, but it's one relatively small boat. So what is your plan forward?
Yes, of course, we won't stop there. So our immediate goal is to build a fleet of 5 vessels to be able to offer 1 departure per week to our clients, which is important for the flexibility of the supply chain. And then from there, we'll open other routes based on customer demands. And we can only do that with the commitment of partners, supporters, clients like Takeda, North Sails, 11th Hour Racing. So we are actually very impressed by the courage and the leadership of those leaders here who are willing to be among the first ones to support new innovation and a new way of shipping. So that's really what is needed to make this scale as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I can't agree more. As a sailor and as having been responsible for building a bunch of boats, I love the simplicity of this solution. We're not trying to change the world with super radical technology. We're applying proven, tried and true things that work. We're keeping it simple, point-to-point shipping, not getting lost in trying to service the whole world all at once, which is pretty daunting and enormous and huge. Tony, you mentioned it earlier, but I'd love to hear a little bit more. It's a fascinating idea to be potentially, at some point, a client and potentially a partner with this project. Can you explain a little bit about what you mean by that and what that could represent? I mean, it seems you're one of the only possible people who could sit and say that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that was kind of my point, is that this project captivated us from the beginning. I mean, the idea that we can take, we can have an agreement, to ship our sales that we make. We have manufacturing facilities around the world. We're certainly interested in this first North Atlantic trade route, but we have interest in really any future route that VELA is able to accomplish, and for us to be a part of that, to ship our goods that way, that's another example of what I was saying of just driving innovation, whether it's our design, our manufacturing, our supply chain, or even our delivery. So that's a great piece for us, but the fact that we could see our sales on these boats and this fleet going forward is like, it's like being part of this dream that we all imagine is just a powerful thing. So it's just a great fit all around.
Would you want to do one of these transatlantic?
Would I personally want to do it?
Personally.
I'd need to see a picture of the cabin first and understand what I'm dealing with. No, the answer is yes. I think it's just the innovation that, as I understand it, that VELA has developed here with the trimaran hull shape, with the size of the rig, the lightweight of the rigging. They've got a partnership with a French group called Concept, which is one of the renowned racing high performance groups in the world. They're winning races, around the world races with their technology. And it's being designed and developed by this group, as well as VPLP, which is one of the top yacht designers in the world. I mean, they're already partnered with the very best of not just cargo shipping, but actual performance sailing. So the opportunity from our view at North Sail is the opportunity for VELA to hit the targets that they're claiming, I think, is reasonable.
Yeah, cool. Well, maybe I'll be on that trip with you.
There you go. I'll do it with you.
Sounds
Share
great.
A very small cabin.
Yeah, exactly. Xavier, Takeda has been committed to sustainability for a long time and a leader in this. And this is really exciting. Audrey, you mentioned how important it is to have support, trust, and leadership in this. What does this mean for you to be leading in this part and engaging in something like this to decarbonize the shipping portion of it?
Yeah. So, no, indeed, Takeda wants to pioneer the change. I mean, we are strongly believing that if we start to do something, if we act, because it's nice to have a concept, we want to act. And that's what we do with this decision. On top of being intentional on the sustainability journey, we really want to make sure that we do things differently. We want to differentiate. We are different from other companies. We are, I think, unique in this pharma world. And we would like to embark with us others. And doing it shows that it's possible. I mean, we know pharmaceuticals, logistics is regulated very much. So we are working very closely still with the team of VELA to build the complete concept to make sure that we can transport with all the safety for our product and the quality that the products deserve. But it's a change we want to show which is possible because others will follow us. And we want to embark our pharma colleagues and peers in this journey.
And so just to be clear, you're inviting your direct competition to be part of this voyage, this journey with you?
Yeah, I would say yes, because I think pharma industry has a responsibility, let's say, beyond let's say, the patients that we treat. We are saying that the planet health is really about the people health. So the connection, this is completely interlinked. So if we can solve or reduce the planet problems, we will reduce patients' health problems as well.
I think that's a really beautiful concept, and I love that challenge. I love that a lot. So as we go forward, as we lean towards wrapping up here today, we're sitting in this intersection between land and sea. We're talking about how we bring stuff more conscientiously, hopefully a lot quicker in general, much more reliably and very safely across the sea. I'd like to invite each of you to share some takeaway from you, from your company, for anybody here, any thoughts you might have. So you mentioned, Xavier, that Takeda believes very, very, very deeply that planetary health is connected to human health. So I'd love to start with your thoughts and any takeaways you'd like to leave us all with as we wrap up Climate Week here in New York City and go our merry ways.
Yeah, I think, again, yeah, you said it, Takeda believes that, I mean, if the health of the people gets better, the future will look better as well. And this is my personal as well belief that small acts will transform the way we are all acting today. We should not wait for someone else to decide if it is the time or not to have more sustainable business practices. We start now as a company, and I have always been very much focusing on trying to do that personally as well. And I have to say that being part of this company brings this additional, I am very inspired by my company to achieve my personal belief, and that's strong. And I would like to share something more personal, which is back to this question of how is it possible to transport goods with sailing boats. So you said it, in the past it was done. And I have at home, my great-grandfather was a merchant ship owner, and he was dealing, trading between France, Saint-Malo, and many countries, China, US. And I have still his marine charts with his handwritten routes, with the heading, the days. For me, it's super inspiring to be, let's say, following his footsteps in this journey with more technology. So I'm extremely excited for my company and for me personally. I shared this video with my kids. I have 4 kids. I want them to live in a world that means something. They were so impressed by what we try to do together. So for me, this is
That's amazing. I find old charts in particular and old maps some of the most exquisite artifacts that we have. Tony, when we were speaking a few weeks ago, you said that this is inspiring to you personally. I love that. Is there anything you'd like to share with everybody here? Send a little bit of inspiration home with all of them.
Well, yeah, I had a whole sort of statement about this, but then I walked in here this morning. I mean, the inspiration is all around us. I mean, just outside here in the Nest campus, of what I've learned this morning and what I've seen are just, these are dreams and aspirations of things we can do to make change. Some of them are big and ambitious, and some of them are small and doable, and maybe not all of them are going to work, but we have no choice but to do these things. We have no choice but to do them. And so for me as a sailor, I grew up with a passion of sailing, a passion of racing boats. How fast can we go? Can we win the race? And so, you know, I was captivated as a young child about, you know, ships going out, like the ships that would go around Cape Horn, the clipper ships, to race to China to pick up the tea to bring it back to market as fast as possible. The Gloucester fishing schooners we talked about this morning go out to the Grand Banks empty and come back full of fish, racing each other to see who could possibly, you know, sell more fish in the shortest amount of time. This is in our DNA as adventurers, as explorers. And to see this project now, after years of developing cargo ships and developing air freight, well, here we are working on a project that's hard to do, but it's doable. And it's really exciting. And for me personally as a sailor, I'm all about this. I want to be a part of it, and I hope that that you all do too.
Thank you. And in the last few seconds, Audrey, would you like to leave us with any final words?
I mean, I agree with what was said. I mean, we only have one planet, so there's not another one spare in case we fail. I agree it's impacting communities and people around the world, so it's urgent to act. And yeah, and beyond climate change, there's also the biodiversity issues that we are also helping with these boats. Yeah, we believe change is difficult, but it's also an opportunity to rethink how we trade and how we live. And we are very excited to do it with our partners here.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of the week.
Thank you.